Hamid, have you ever seen that phrasal verb before? To step in?
Step in, like go upside in a ladder.
Can you repeat that, please?
Like go up. If we have a ladder, we step in. Like means go up.
Well, that would be step up, maybe to step up on the elevator. Well, maybe I don't know if you would use that, but you could. Step up means to walk up, but step in could mean to step into a room, right? Or it could also be abstract. Okay, step in literally would mean like enter. Do you agree?
Yes.
That would be very literal. That would be, you could look at that and say, oh, yes, I understand what that means. Uh, but here, what it means is someone interferes or someone involves themselves in a situation in a way, in a helpful way, maybe to help. Could mean to help, to offer guidance, something like that. So this is a little bit more abstract than just enter. I guess you could. I guess it is pretty literal. He entered to help when I was struggling with the project. What do you think that means? He entered the
Entered.
situation. Yeah, like entered the situation. Oh, I'm having so much trouble with this project. And then he entered my problem. What does that mean? What do you imagine?
Maybe we use a joint.
Maybe join. Maybe join could be another way of thinking about it. What
Uh, what the word abstract means?
abstract means? That's a good question. Do you know the word literal? What does literal mean? If I say step in is literal, what does that mean? Do you know?
Literal. What is the opposite of literal?
Okay, wait. Let's take a look at this for a minute. Maybe we can find a picture to help us. Uh, okay. What if we look like this? All right. Can you see the picture that I have up on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so if I look at the first picture, the picture on the left, what do you see?
Farmers.
Okay. And what is the picture on the right?
Uh, drawing.
Of what?
Maybe of nature.
Yeah, or maybe, okay, imagine I'm the artist and I say, oh, Mohammed, I was inspired by the picture on the left, so I made the picture on the right. It's the same, in my mind, it's the same thing, right? Do you understand?
Yes.
So abstract is more like a feeling or a representation, but you can't interpret it unless I tell you.
Yes.
Okay, so literal, the literal farmers, the real farmers, the ones that you can see are the ones on the left. Those are literal farmers. But the one on the right, that's my idea of farmers, and you need my explanation. Is that pretty clear?
Yes.
That's what I mean when I say abstract or literal. So step in literally means enter, right? You step, you walk, and then you enter. You go in. You can look at the words and you can interpret the meaning. Do you understand?
Yes. It's like the form and the formless.
Sort of, sort of. That might be a very good way of looking at it. That step in has form. Like you can, if it's literal, he stepped in the room, right? You can say, "Oh, step in." I understand that, right?
Yes,
But is it so easy to understand he stepped in to help?
yes.
Or do you need some more explanation?
Maybe I get it.
Like, here, wait, let's try a
Like
different.
from the whole phrase. Understand the meaning from the whole phrase.
I'm just going to put two more. I'm going to use a different phrasal verb. Okay. So I'm putting two more examples on the screen. We've got number one and number two. This is really important, I think. So I think it's worthwhile to talk about this for a minute. Can you, Mohammed? Can you see the two sentences that I have here?
Yes.
What is number one? Read number one.
He turned on the radio.
Okay. Now, if you think about the old TV or the old radio, you turn something, and then the picture is on or the radio is on, right?
Yes.
So you could look at that. You could look at number one and say, "Oh yeah, I understand. Turn on radio. That makes sense. Turn on. That's literal." Okay, so we can say this is literal. But what does number two mean?
Uh, Maybe if I guess that maybe turned on his friend. No, no, I
You can't.
can't guess it.
No, I have to
Yes,
explain it to you because you cannot look at the word turn and the word on and understand what it means. Somebody has to explain it to you, or you have to know the context. This means betray. Do you know that word betray?
yes.
Okay. And by the way, in phrasal verbs, if the phrasal verb is literal, you usually will focus on the preposition. He turned on the radio. But if the phrasal verb is abstract, whoops, I don't want to put betray here. I want to put abstract. But if the phrasal verb is abstract, then you have to emphasize, or you normally will emphasize the verb. So he turned on his friend. That means he betrayed his friend. But he turned on the radio. That means he started the radio. Okay, so do you understand the difference between abstract and literal? Does that make sense to you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So my friend stepped in to help. Is that literal or abstract?
I have another question.
Okay, go
When
ahead.
we say that science is abstract science and literal science. Is abstract science is here means only few people can understand it.
Okay, you're saying science, abstract. Are you saying the word science?
Yes,
Okay. How many syllables? First of all, how many syllables in that word science?
science.
Hmm.
Two.
Okay. What is the first syllable?
Science.
Psi. And what is the second syllable? Okay, one syllable finishes with a vowel sound and the next syllable starts with a vowel sound. And what is it very important to do when this happens? What do you have to do?
To match them.
You have to repeat the,
To
the you have to repeat the first
repeat.
syllable,
Yes.
the first vowel sound. So science.
Science.
Yes, if you say signs, to me, it sounds like you're saying signs. Say number
Yes.
say number one.
Science.
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 Say number two.
Science.
Signs. Say number one.
Science.
Say number two.
Science.
Pachu, can you say number one?
He turned on the
Say
radio.
no. We're talking about science and signs. Number one and number two.
Okay, so science,
Science. That's you got to make that. You got to pull your tongue back. Science.
science,
That was good. Say it faster.
science,
Science.
science,
Say number two.
the science.
Signs. So the difference is that sound in the middle. Maya says, I didn't know that turn on could mean betray. Phrasal verbs is what you can learn all your life. That's true. But the point, no, but the point is that most phrasal verbs have two interpretations, usually sometimes more. But one is literal. You can look at the words and you can understand what it means, and one is abstract, meaning it represents something that you cannot interpret. You can't look at the words turn and on and understand that it means betray. That's one of the big problems with phrasal verbs for people. So, what Muhammad is saying, well, what's the difference between abstract science and what did you say, Muhammad? What word did you use for the other thing? Abstract science and what?
Like when we make a project,
Mm-hmm.
I always see the phrase. It's made on an abstract idea. Like I can't get it. How the project is done on abstract ideas.
That means that there's no physical representation. There's nothing that you can see or touch to understand it. It's something that you have to. It's like an exercise that you have to do in your head. If something is
Yes.
abstract, it doesn't have any physical representation.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's pretty
Yes.
pretty complicated. So you think about abstract as means doesn't represent, no representation. Let's see what chat. I want to know what how chat GPT would define that. Abstract. Because I'm not entirely satisfied with my own definition. Something that exists as an idea or a concept rather than something you can touch. Yeah. So there's no way to get to know it physically. Okay. Or with the senses. Let's say that. Not because it doesn't have to be touch. It could be sight, it could be anything. You cannot experience it through the senses. It's something only in your mind. Okay. Now, what do you think, Mohammed? Is my friend stepped in to help? Is that literal or abstract? Is there a strong.
Abstract.
Okay, I think so. I think you're right. I don't think there's a strong
Mm,
connection between the preposition in and whatever follows. Okay. So when you're using a phrasal verb abstractly, then you will probably want to pronounce the verb and not the preposition. Okay. So my friend stepped in. My friend stepped in. Can you say that?
My friend stepped in.
So the big word here is stepped, because it's abstract. If it were literal, then you would say my friend stepped in. But because this is abstract, you say stepped in. Pachu, can you read that?
Stepped in.
Go ahead, say it again.
Stepped in.
Pachu, can you read that? My friend stepped in.
My friend stepped in.
Let's see. What about to help? Is that important? My friend stepped in to help. Is that important?
Stepped in to help. Yes, help.
So, would you read it like this? My friend stepped in to help. I don't think that doesn't sound good to me. My friend stepped in to help. Think my friend stepped in to help. That's how I would say it. I wouldn't, I just would
Yeah,
emphasize stepped in and not help. My
yeah,
friends.
okay.
Can you read all of those words together? My friend stepped in to help.
My friend stepped in to help.
Okay. Can you read that, Mohammed? My friend stepped in to help.
My friend stepped in to help.
Okay, Pachu, what are the next four words?
When I when I when I was struggling,
Okay, Maya's asking, are stepped in and help out synonyms? No, step in is, I think, focuses on someone coming to the rescue, someone coming to save you. I'll save you, and help out just means participate. So in step in, you have a hero. But in help out, that could also be a hero, but it really just means more like participate rather than rescue. Although they could be, maybe they are. Maybe in a weird way they are. My friend stepped in. My friend helped out. No, because my friend helped out is like my friend participated, and my friend stepped in is like, oh, my friend rescued me. Okay, Pachu, that phrase, when I was struggling, what is the most important word?
struggling,
Okay, and which syllable has all of the sound in that word? Struggling.
struggling,
Strug.
struggling,
Str-
strug,
strug. Strug.
strug.
How would you say when I was struggling, like one word?
When I was when I was struggling,
When I was struggling. When I was struggling.
when I was struggling,
My friend stepped in when I was struggling.
my friend stepped in to help when I was struggling.
Okay, Mohammed, can you say that? My friend stepped in to help when I was struggling.
My friend stepped in to help when I was struggling.
Maya says, oh, step in is for more serious situations. Step in is when you have a hero, when you're focusing on the hero. Okay, Mohammed, what are the last three words of that phrase?
With a project.
Okay, and what do you think would be the biggest or most important word in that phrase?
Project.
Hmm. Do you remember one time you were asking me about, uh, well, I don't think, with the. I guess it could be either way. With the. You could double this if you wanted to. You could make both of those sounds. Could you try to double with plus the? With the.
With
With you have to stop for a minute. With the.
with the
Yeah, you could do it like that if you wanted. You asked me about that one time. I think here you could do that with the project. With the project.
with the project.
Or it could be with the project.
Maybe connecting it is easier.
That's fine. I think you could do it either way. I just remember that you asked about that before.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the biggest syllable in project?
Jet. Second one.
Oh, that would be a verb. If you put the emphasis on the second syllable, that would be project, and that's like projector, like a movie showing on a screen. But
Yes.
this is a noun, and so the emphasis is on the first syllable, which is project. Project.
Project.
hmm Can you say with the project?
With the project.
Struggling with the project.
Struggling with the project.
When I was struggling with the project,
When when I was struggling with the project.
my friend stepped in to help when I was struggling with the project.
My friend stepped in when to help when I was struggling with the project.
Pachu, can you say that whole sentence?
My friend stepped in to help when I was struggling with the project.
Okay. How many phrases can you divide that sentence into, Pachu?
So, first is my friend stepped in to help,
Okay.
and next is when I was struggling with the project.
Okay. All right. And in that first phrase, my friend stepped in to help. How will you like that to sound? Will you like that to sound happy and friendly and nice or serious?
Serious.
Serious. Okay. Uh, so let's do this. We only have one important word here. So let's make that low. Stepped in to help. Stepped in to help.
Stepped into
So
stepped in to help.
yeah, so we'll make that low. Stepped in to help, but you normally will start your phrase high. So my friend stepped in to
Mm.
help.
My friend stepped in to help.
Mohammed, can you say that? My friend stepped in to help.
But before I say that, I have another question.
Okay.
My question: what is the abstract meaning of autopilot?
Of autopilot?
Uh, uh, Autopilot, on autopilot. The abstract meaning
Uh,
of this.
well, that's not a phrasal verb. That's a compound noun. You have the word auto, which means self, and then you have pilot, which means driving. And that's not a phrasal verb. That's not a verb. It could be used in aviation or in other forms of driving something as a verb, but it's really a
No,
compound
no,
verb. What?
I don't ask about aviation. I see it in another context.
hmm But it's not a phrasal verb. It's a
Yes,
it's a verb. It's a
like
Go ahead. What?
it's I see it in like don't act on your life
Mhm.
in autopilot mode.
Okay, but this is not pilot means to drive, and auto means by itself without anything moving it. So it's not a phrasal verb. Auto is a prefix that you can put in front of a lot of different things, and it means by its own, by
Yes.
itself. So it's not a matter of being abstract. It just means like don't act on autopilot means think about what you're doing, think about your actions, because to be on autopilot, how do you, Mohammed? How do you go to work? Do you walk? Do you drive? Do you take the bus? How do you go?
Take the bus.
Okay. Do you think about it like every day when you go to the bus? Do you think, okay, I'm going to walk outside and then I'm going to turn left and then I'm going to walk for 10 meters and then I'm going to turn right? Do you think that in your head or do you just do it automatically?
Automatically.
So that's you going to the bus on autopilot. You don't think about it. It's just happening like a machine, like mechanically. There's no thought involved.
Yes, yes.
That's what it means. So when they say don't do something on autopilot, that means just don't do it like a machine. Think about it first. But it's not an idea of abstract. Auto just means move by itself or do it on its own without any help. Do you understand? It's not a phrase,
Okay.
and it's not a phrasal verb.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my friend stepped in to help. Can you say that? My friend stepped in to help.
My friend stepped into help.
Okay. Now in the final phrase, when I was struggling with the project, do you want this to sound happy and nice or serious?
Serious.
Okay. So how will we say this final word, project? Is that high or low?
Slow.
It's low. It's low. Okay, but how do we have to start our phrase? Should that start high or low?
Start high.
Okay, so when I was struggling with the project,
When I was struggling with the project,
my friend stepped in when I was struggling with the project.
my friend stepped in to help when I was struggling with the project.
Pachu, can you say that? When I was struggling with the project.
When I was struggling with the project,
My friend stepped in to help when I was struggling with the project.
my friend stepped in to help when I was struggling with the project.
Okay. Now, is it project or project?
Project.
That's right.
Project.
Yeah. Project. Okay. Uh,
Project.
Mohammed, can you make a why my friend step in question?
Why?
Yeah, why? Why my.
Why my
Go ahead.
why uh, my friend stepped in to help?
Try again.
Why my friend stepped in to help?
This.
Or should I use that?
Yeah, this is a question. This is a that problem that we were talking about, the subject object question, that happens with who and what. Okay, it never happens with why.
Uh, I think we said we why talk, and we didn't say why did she take. So I made it the same here.
Uh
Like
no, that was a that was
the bus question was what took all his
that's
time.
because when you have when you have a what question or a who question or a which, it can also be which, when you're asking about things or people, they could either be a subject or an object. But why does not have a subject or an object? Why is just explain it to me. There's no object or subject in that. Do you understand?
Yes.
So
So we will say
mhm. So with why
why
you
did
always use the with why you always use the question form.
okay,
So how will you make that? Why
why
my
did he step in
Mhm.
to help?
Okay, again. Do it again.
Why why did he step in to help?
And what is your most important word in that question?
Why?
Okay. How would it sound if you say why plus did plus he?
Why did he?
Why did he? Why did he?
Why did he?
Why did he step in to help?
Why did he step in to help?
Panchu, can you make that question? Why did he? Why did he?
Why did he? Why did he?
Uh huh. Make the whole question. Why did he?
Why did he step in?
To help. Mhm.
to help.
Again.
Why did he step in
To
to help?
Why did he step in to help?
Why did he step in to help?
Give me the answer. He because
He stepped in to help because he
Mhm.
was struggling with the project.
Okay. Muhammad, why did he step in to help?
He stepped in to help because he was struggling with the project.
Okay, but try to pay attention to the important words though. So he stepped in to help because I was struggling with the project.
He stepped in to help because I was struggling with the project.
All right. Now let's take a look at our final word for today, which I think is a very useful word, and I think we've talked about it before, but it's a good idea to review these things sometimes, especially good words, important words like this. Cram. Pachu, do you know that word? Cram.